What would be a reasonable claim that could be made in compensation for the loss of life of a 7-year-old? That's what the courts and the children's advocate will have to determine in the case of Clancarty student Benjamin Bear. He died on the school's compound when a garbage truck overturned and crushed him to death. But the initial question is, will there be a civil suit?
There is room, and we are in fact doing that assessment to consider whether any civil proceedings should be instituted against perhaps not only the driver, but the owner of the vehicle and any other persons who may be vicariously
Ministry of Education, maybe?
Possibly. But as I said, we're in assessment mode, so until we file that claim, I won't say specifically who are the parties that we would consider as likely respondents to the legal action, if it is that we're going that particular route.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest and the most likely, where are we in terms of civil action?
A 6.
A 6.
Yes.
So that's...
And the outcome of that, once the court finds in our favor, would be that whatever damages are recovered would be passed on to the family.
She noted that all of what is determined by the court is handed over to the parents in full and can never compensate for the vibrancy and love of the child. The children's advocate says any award is symbolic for the grave wrong that led to the loss of life. But what are the considerations that help determine a final figure?
It's drawn from precedents, it's drawn from similar circumstances, perhaps in other jurisdictions. It looks at a number of factors. So the age of the victim, it looks at the gender, it looks at perhaps if the victim had expressed any intentions as to what he or she would have become and so on. But generally, the threshold for damages for children is usually much lower than for somebody who is in the prime of his life, who is working, who is contributing, and so on. And so I can't say what that amount would be, but it really just depends on when we look at all the factors that will come forward and will be pleaded in the affidavits. The court would advise itself on what is a reasonable quantum, and of course we would ask for that, what we consider reasonable, given all the circumstances as well, once we file the action.
Following his untimely and tragic death a month ago, government has promised to take care of Benjamin's funeral expenses. The driver of the garbage truck has been charged in connection with the incident. Michael Sharp, Frontline News.